In this video, I'm debunking this video. The person in this video spread a lot of fear, uncertainty, and doubt about the Tangem wallet, so I wanted to clear some things up because it looks like maybe a lot of research wasn't done in this video, and there is a lot of false information. So I'm going to take you through each of his drawbacks regarding the Tangem wallet and offer my perspective every step of the way. The first downside, which this guy claims is the biggest drawback to the Tangem wallet, is that it doesn't support a passphrase, also known as a hidden wallet. So the point of a passphrase or hidden wallet is to add a 13th or 25th word to your seed phrase to make it more secure. While this is an awesome feature that Tangem is adding this year that I'm personally excited for, it's not a deal breaker for me, assuming you are storing your seed phrase properly and managing it properly. A 12-word seed phrase is more than secure enough to protect your crypto. I'd also argue that 90% of people who use a self-custodial wallet that has the passphrase option don't even use the option. So while it may provide some added peace of mind and definitely some added security if you use it, it's really not a deal breaker if you're not already using it in another wallet. That said, if you already use a seed phrase in another wallet, I understand how this might be a drawback because then you can't use that passphrase in your Tangem wallet, at least not yet until they release this feature. But don't worry, we're just getting started. Drawback number 2 is that the Tangem wallet doesn't allow you to generate multiple receiving addresses. So this is common practice, especially with Bitcoin focused wallets. So every time you receive Bitcoin, the wallet generates a new address, and this is for increased privacy. That way, if you are sending your address to someone, they can't see all the crypto and all the transactions that you've done with that address because you're actually using a brand new address. So this is definitely another feature that I'm looking forward to that is being released on the Tangem wallet sometime this year. However, again, it's not a deal breaker for me. This is more something that I'm going to use to better organize my wallet, but I'm not too concerned about the privacy, and this does not directly impact security of your wallet. Now, a simple solution while we wait for Tangem to roll out this feature is to not share your public address with anyone. I mean, how many of us are actually giving our public address to someone we don't trust? Okay, now we get into the outright false information with drawback number 3 stating that Tangem has no multi-sig capabilities. While it's true that Tangem doesn't have any multi-sig capabilities natively in the Tangem app, which is the same case for other popular wallets like Ledger, Trezor, OneKey, whatever it may be, you can connect the Tangem wallet to a third-party multi-sig like Gnosis Safe and set it up as a signer wallet. So I'm not exactly sure where this guy got the idea that the Tangem wallet has no multi-sig capabilities, because just like pretty much any wallet, you can set it up as a multi-sig wallet using a third-party app. Drawback number 4, which is quite frankly not a drawback at all, but rather a security feature, is that you can't update the Tangem wallet firmware. Now, the guy in this video argues that the crypto space is in a constant state of flux and devs should have the ability to make changes to the firmware inside the wallet. A couple things here. First, the devs do have the ability to make changes to the firmware. It's their firmware, they created it, so if they wanted to change it, they could. So it's us as the users, we don't have the ability to update the firmware, which is done for security purposes. Second, Tangem has already addressed this matter. Users don't need to update the firmware because all the new features and blockchain integrations are added on the mobile app side and not in the actual firmware that is installed on the wallet. So all we have to do as users is update the Tangem app to benefit from any new features or tokens that are being added. This approach ensures the integrity of the firmware is maintained, which in turn makes the Tangem wallet even more secure, whereas the firmware has one primary focus, and that is fast and secure transaction signing. So it looks like the 5th drawback might actually be a reaction to one of my previous videos where I stated that the new 24-word seed phrase feature that is coming to Tangem won't actually increase entropy or security, which I was actually wrong about. And because I made a mistake, he also made a mistake in his video, which is just the result of not doing enough research. So let me clarify this. Tangem already supports the import of a 24-word 256-bit seed phrase. And then when the new 24-word seed phrase feature comes out for Tangem, it will also support the generation of a new 256-bit 24-word seed phrase, which again increases entropy or randomness, which in turn technically increases security of your seed phrase. So this drawback is simply inaccurate. Number 6 is that Tangem uses a mobile-only proprietary application that only works with the Tangem wallet, which are both true statements. You need the Tangem app to work with the Tangem cards. However, the statement that he said directly after this, which was if you lose access to the app, then you lose access to all of your crypto, is completely false. Just like with any wallet, you can take your seed phrase from one wallet like Tangem and import it into another brand of hardware wallet, such as OneKey or Trezor or whatever wallet it may be, and regain access to your crypto. So even if Tangem ceases to exist, worst case scenario, you could take your seed phrase and import it into another brand of hardware wallet, which he even touches on in his next drawback. All right, number 7, I have to admit, I actually understand where he's coming from regarding the hidden seed phrase option. So when you set up your Tangem wallet, Tangem actually recommends that you set it up without a seed phrase. That way, or the thought behind this is if you don't know your seed phrase, then you can't accidentally reveal it, which could lead to your wallet being compromised. However, if you set up your Tangem wallet without a seed phrase and you lose all of your Tangem cards, for example, then you would lose access to your crypto forever. Thankfully, this is an optional feature. So if you want to set up your Tangem wallet using a seed phrase, you can do that. And if you don't want to use a seed phrase, you can also do that. So I don't see this much as a drawback because the people who choose to use their Tangem wallet without a seed phrase are accepting the risk, and they understand that if they lose all their cards, they lose their crypto, and they're okay with that. And on the other hand, for people like me and a lot of people like you, we understand that if we lose all of our cards, we would lose access to our crypto. So we prefer to know our seed phrase. So again, this is optional, debunked. Number 8 is probably the greatest concern with the Tangem wallet, and I know a lot of you have asked me about this, and that is the fact that Tangem does not have its own display. So most hardware wallets have its own display. That way you can confirm what you're seeing on your computer or your mobile phone is what you're actually signing when using your hardware wallet device. But with Tangem, you're trusting what you see on that app is what you're actually approving using your cards. So I reached out to Tangem about this concern, and this is what they said. First off, Tangem has sold over 1 million wallets since 2017, and not a single one has been hacked. And I know I say this in pretty much all of my videos, but that is something, in my opinion, worth bragging about because that's a pretty big deal. Secondly, Tangem has gone through 2 security audits, both which prove there are no backdoors or vulnerabilities to malware and attacks in the app. Also, there's an interesting statement from the founders of Tangem where they say that unlike with web apps or browser extensions, the potential threat of interference into the signing process in the mobile app is considered non-existent if these 2 rules are followed. Rule number 1, you don't intentionally tamper with your mobile device, commonly referred to as rooting, which grants users privileged access to the operating system of your device. And second, that you are using the official Tangem app. So that said, you should be able to trust what you're seeing on the Tangem app is what you're actually approving and signing for using your Tangem cards. The next drawback is that you can reset the card's access code if you have your hands on 2 of the cards. So the access code prevents someone from getting a hold of your cards, downloading their own Tangem app, and then accessing your wallet on their phone. However, what this guy failed to mention is that you can actually enable or disable this feature. So if you don't want to be able to reset your access code, even with the cards, you can enable that in the app settings. Of course, there are some pros and cons to doing this. Disabling the access recovery code feature means that no one can access your wallet, even if they have your cards. The downside to this is that this also is valid for you. If you forget your access code, and even if you have your cards, you won't be able to access your wallet. Of course, if you have your seed phrase, you can still access your wallet because you can import that into any wallet. But for those of you who choose to use Tangem without setting up a seed phrase, this could be an issue if you forgot your access code. And the last drawback is just a story about how this guy decided to reset his Face ID on his phone. And as a result, he lost access to a bunch of apps, including Tangem. And instead of just using the scan card method to access his wallet, he tried using the Face ID. Of course, it didn't work because he reset it. So he decided to delete the Tangem app and tried to regain access to his cards that way. And for some reason, it wasn't working. I'm not sure why it didn't work. He gave a very brief explanation of this story, but eventually he got it to work. So I don't know, just a weird bug, I guess. All that said, I think this guy spread a lot of unnecessary FUD about Tangem, and besides maybe watching a few of my videos, it seems like he didn't do a lot of research into the Tangem wallet. And while I'm all for talking about the pros and cons of different hardware wallets, I think a lot of the drawbacks that were mentioned in this video aren't actually drawbacks at all. He just painted them in a way that made them seem like drawbacks. Why? I don't know. Maybe because he wanted to get more views so that he could reach his goal of 1,000 subscribers, but at what cost? Spreading misinformation. As for some drawbacks like the missing passphrase option or the ability to generate multiple receiving addresses, hey, I get it. A lot of people want these features, myself included, and they are coming to Tangem this year, and all you have to do to activate those features is update the Tangem app. But if you're not willing to use this wallet until those features are implemented, I get it, no problem. But for me, I'm going to keep recommending the Tangem wallet because it is one of my favorite hardware wallets on the market. It's the most user-friendly hardware wallet. It's the most convenient. And in my opinion, it's extremely secure. It's never been hacked. So I think the pros of the Tangem wallet far outweigh any of these drawbacks that this guy has been spreading. Of course, I always encourage my viewers to do their own research. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to some other random YouTuber. Dig deep and actually learn about the hardware wallet that you're using or that you're thinking about getting. You know, look at the FAQ sections, look at the code if you know how to read it, reach out to the company with any of your questions, and, you know, dig deep and find out the things that you want to know. So while I agree that Tangem may not be the best wallet for everyone, I do stand by my opinion that it is one of the best hardware wallets on the market, and it is a great fit for a lot of users, especially beginners. So if you are interested in getting the Tangem wallet, I have a 10% discount code in the description of this video. And I also answered 25 other questions about the Tangem wallet in this video, so definitely check that out. I'll see you there. Peace.